So this 13th day of the Meditations for the Holy Souls in Purgatory, I'm going to choose one actually from a different book for today because I think it's very fitting for Sunday on the value of Holy Communion for the souls in Purgatory. If ordinary good works procure so much relief for the holy souls in Purgatory, what will not be the effects of the holiest work a Christian can accomplish? And this is speaking of Christians who aren't priests. I mean Holy Communion. When St. Magdalene de Pazzi saw her brother in the sufferings of purgatory, touched with compassion, she melted into tears and cried in a lamentable voice, "O afflicted soul, how terrible are your pains! Why are they not understood by those who lack the courage to carry their cross here below? Whilst you were still in this world, my dear brother, you would not listen to me. And now you desire so ardently that I should hear you. Poor victim, what do you require of me?" Here she stopped and was heard to count up to the number 107. Then she said aloud that this was the number of communions which he begged in a tone of supplication. "Yes," she said to him, "I can easily do what you ask, that is, offer 107 times her Holy Communion for his soul. But alas, what a length of time it will take me to pay that debt. Oh, if God permitted, how willingly would I go where you are to deliver you or to prevent others from descending into it." The saint, without omitting her prayers and other suffrages, made with the greatest fervor all the communions which her brother desired for his deliverance. It is, says Father Rossignoli, a pious custom established in the churches of the Society of Jesus to offer each month a general communion for the benefit of the souls in purgatory. And God is designed to show by a prodigy how agreeable this practice is to him. So he's saying that there was a practice that once a month the whole community would offer their Holy Communion at a certain Mass for the holy souls in purgatory. And that's something that all of us can do, all of you can do. Even if you're not priests, you can offer once a month, or you can offer much more often Holy Communion for the souls in purgatory. And the following account talks about one of the fruits that took place on a day when they were carrying out this practice. In the year 1615, when the fathers in Rome celebrated this monthly communion in the Church of Our Lady in Trastevere, a crowd of persons was present. Amongst the fervent Christians, there was one great sinner, who, although taking part in the pious ceremonies of religion, had for a long time led a very wicked life. This man, before entering the church, saw coming out and advancing towards him a man of humble appearance, who asked of him an alms for the love of God. He at first refused, but the poor man, as is customary with beggars, persisted, asking for the third time in a most pitiful tone of supplication. Finally, yielding to a good inspiration, our sinner recalled the mendicant and gave him a piece of money. Then the poor man changed his entreaties into another language. "Keep your money," said he. "I stand in no need of your liberality. But you yourself greatly need to make a change in your life. Know that it was to give you this salutary warning. That I came from Mount Gargano to the ceremony which was to take place in this church today. It is now 20 years since you have been leading this deplorable life, provoking the anger of God instead of appeasing it by a sincere confession. Hasten to do penance if you would escape the stroke of divine justice, ready to fall upon your head." The sinner was struck by these words. A secret fear took possession of him when he heard the secrets of conscience revealed, which he thought were known to God alone. His emotion increased when he saw the poor man vanish like smoke before his eyes. Opening his heart to grace, he entered the church, cast himself upon his knees, and shed a torrent of tears. Then, sincerely repenting, he sought a confessor, made an avowal of his crimes, and asked pardon. After confession, he related to the priest what had happened to him, begging him to make it known in order that devotion towards the holy souls might be increased. For he had no doubt that it was a soul just delivered that he had obtained for him, that it was a soul who had just been delivered from purgatory that had obtained for him the grace of conversion. And so what he's saying is, he had no doubt that that was the day they were offering all their Holy Communions in the church for the souls in purgatory, and so he feels surely one of the souls just released appeared then to this wicked man who happened to be coming into church on that day, because now he was in heaven, and God permitted him to appear to him and bring about his conversion. It may here be asked, who was that mysterious mendicant that appeared to this sinner in order to convert him? Some have believed that it was none other than the Archangel Michael, because he said that he came from Mount Gargano. We know that this mountain is celebrated throughout Italy for an apparition of St. Michael, in whose honor a magnificent shrine has been erected. However this may be, the conversion of this sinner by such a miracle, and at the same moment when prayers and Holy Communion were being offered for the faithful departed, shows plainly the excellence of this devotion and how pleasing it must be in the sight of God. Let us therefore conclude in the words of St. Bernard, "May charity lead you to communicate, for there is nothing more efficacious for the eternal repose of the dead." That is, to receive Holy Communion, for there is nothing more efficacious for the eternal repose of the dead. And so in your Holy Communion today, or tomorrow, or on any day, if you choose to offer that for the holy souls in purgatory, there will be many who will be extremely grateful for what you've obtained for them. Would you be willing to help thousands of families throughout the world, including children, teenagers, parents, grandparents, people from Israel to Uganda, to Germany, to Indonesia, to India, to Canada, to Saudi Arabia, to Colombia, and to so many other countries? I earnestly ask you to please take the next 7.5 minutes to let me lift the veil on what you can expect to see if you choose to contribute. Every day we come together to pray the Rosary, thousands of families from around the world, praying for those most in need and asking Our Lady to help us, in imitation of the children of Fatima, to strive for holiness. In addition, our team is working to make available the month-long series that we've begun for the souls in purgatory, the continuation of the First Saturday series, and a series on the lives of the saints and some of their miracles. We hope to also launch the preparatory work on some more extended projects, such as an introduction to prayer as taught by St. Alphonsus Liguori, or a mini retreat for children according to the wisdom of St. Ignatius of Loyola, and perhaps even a year-long series of talks for children. But all of this will take a lot of behind-the-scenes work from our staff, including all the preparatory work and many hours of video production and editing. Your contributions would make this work possible, but they would also make possible something that is a great joy for me to announce. These past 7 months, the team has been working hard to put together the necessary master plan, personnel, and design for a chapel to be the home of this Our Lady of Fatima Rosary Crusade. I'm very pleased to announce that your contributions will help us build a beautiful stone chapel in imitation of the Holy House of Loreto, the Holy House in Nazareth, in which Our Lady, St. Joseph, and our Lord lived and worked, and that was later miraculously carried by angels to Loreto, Italy, where it has been one of the most visited shrines in all of Europe. We will build from local limestone and wood a chapel matching the dimensions and feel of the Holy House of Loreto, so that it might be a constant reminder and help to turn our hearts and minds towards the life of the Holy Family in Nazareth. Behind the chapel will be some priestly housing, God willing, not only for myself, but also guest lodging for 2 or 3 additional priests. But in front of the chapel, we hope to have a large enclosed garden, surrounded by covered walkways for prayer and meditation, and in the center of the garden a statue of the Angel of Fatima giving Holy Communion to the 3 shepherd children. Several plans are in the works for the stone walls along the covered walkways. For example, we hope to obtain a first-class relic of St. Philomena and to have an altar and small shrine with the relic where people could come to pray and invoke her intercession. I should mention that while my sincere hope and my belief is that you will be able one day to come visit this chapel in person, I cannot yet guarantee that. But in faith, we feel called to go forward and build this enclosed garden with its devotional spaces, trusting in what God will make possible. Though this is a large project, it is also quite doable and doable soon, as I will explain in a moment. But first, I have one other piece of good news. A few months ago, and without touching any of the funds given for the Ave Filomena project, 2 metal buildings were acquired thanks to the generosity of a number of you. Located near the property, these buildings are now being converted into guest lodging for 2 priests, as well as myself, an office, and a chapel, in which, by Christmas I hope, I will already be able to lead the daily rosary kneeling once again in front of an altar with the Blessed Sacrament. While some funds are still needed to finish the chapel, the work is progressing quite well. My sincere thanks to all of you who made this possible. It will allow much good work for souls to already take place. And once the Holy House of Loreto Chapel is built, it can become retreatant housing or serve in other ways for the good of souls. But right now, I need to ask you for your financial help. If you choose to do so, you can help thousands of families around the world on a daily basis, including through future programs such as teaching families and children how to pray, the continuation of the First Saturday series, and other programs. You will also help build a beautiful stone chapel in imitation of the Holy House of Loreto, a beautiful enclosed garden for prayer and devotion, and lodging for priests. And all of this is very doable if you will help. Concretely, I would ask 2 things of you. First, that you earnestly consider making monthly contributions for the next 12 months. If 1/2 of our Rosary Crusade made monthly contributions for these next 12 months, I'm firmly convinced that you would see the walls of the chapel already rising, and that this is going to be really the key to the project. Second, that you make a one-time contribution, if possible, during the next 9 days. For the Ave Filomena project to be fully realized, we might also need some large donors, but I'm confident that those will come if each one of us takes now the steps that we can in giving what we can. As always, all I ask is that you take a few moments to pray and sincerely ask God if He is calling you to help in this way. These are hard economic times, and I'm conscious that some of you will not be able to contribute financially. If so, that is perfectly fine. But my sense is that most of you can contribute something, even something every month. And I think it would be a great joy for all of you to see this work on behalf of souls, including the work of building the chapel, go forward. I will now leave that in God's hands. May His will be done. Lastly, as to how to contribute, to make this as simple as possible, please follow 2 simple indications. 1, if you are already contributing to Regina Angelorum Press on a monthly basis, and there are a small number of you doing this, and I'm extremely grateful to all of you, it would be a great help if you could continue to do this for the coming 12 months. But for everyone else, and for any one-time contributions, please make monthly and one-time contributions to Ave Filomena, which is a nonprofit corporation and which should, in the coming months, also receive tax-exempt status. Once again, if you are currently giving monthly to Regina Angelorum Press, it would be a great help if you were able to continue doing so for the coming 12 months. For everyone else, and for one-time donations, please donate to Ave Filomena. Whatever you may decide, please accept my heartfelt gratitude for considering this appeal. I very much look forward to seeing these projects go forward in the coming year. I'll look forward to praying the Holy Rosary with you tomorrow. God bless you.